Vice Chairman, I call the meeting of the Board of Adjustments and Appeals to order. Bobby, do you want to do the notification about why we're meeting remotely?
This conference will now be recorded.
Be glad to. If there is no objection from the Board of Adjustment and Appeal members, and subject to Executive Order number 65, let the minutes reflect that the members have determined that it is necessary that this meeting be held electronically to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Are there any objections? Hearing none, let the minutes reflect that the board has made the determination to conduct this meeting electronically. The chairman will call each name. When he calls your name, please respond and confirm that you can hear the other members. I do want to remind everyone that each vote must be by roll call vote. The chairman will call the names, at which time you will provide your vote. Prior to making a motion or second or asking a questions or making a comment, please identify yourself. I believe the next thing on the agenda, Mr. Chairman, is approval of the minutes.
And let me do the roll call before.
Absolutely.
Glenn Adams.
It's Glenn Adams, and I can hear everyone.
Kenneth Choate.
This is Kenneth Choate, and I can hear everyone.
Joshua Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes, and I'm able to hear everyone.
One last call, Ronald Crutcher. It appears there's a quorum present. The next item of business is approval of the minutes that were emailed to everyone. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and I make a motion we approve the minutes as submitted.
This is Kenneth Choate. I second the motion.
We have a motion that's been seconded. Have a roll call vote. Mr. Adams.
It's Glenn Adams, and I vote to approve the minutes.
Mr. Choate.
This is Kenneth Choate, and I vote to approve the minutes.
Mr. Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes, and I vote to approve the minutes.
And this is John Lee, and I vote to approve the minutes. Passes unanimously. Mr. Cook, do you want to present the appeals on the agenda?
Absolutely. The first thing I would like is the record reflect that adequate public notice was given to both the home builders and to the public. The first appeals before you today are from Old South Properties. Without objection, we will hear the appeals from Old South Properties as a whole. Let the minutes reflect that no additional documentation or explanation was submitted by or on behalf of Old South Properties. First argument the appellant makes is that he has obtained vested rights under the Vested Property Rights Act of 2014, so the lots at issue are not subject to the impact fee. The Vested Property Rights Act provides that should a developer receive preliminary plat approval from the local authority, the development standards in place shall remain the same through the course of the development. The appellant argues that the impact fee is a development standard, and therefore the impact fee is not applicable to those developments that receive prior preliminary plat approval. However, the Vested Property Rights Act is triggered if the impact fee is a development standard or development regulation, which the Act specifically references standards and regulations concern the actual development of the property to include local stormwater requirements, local construction standard for buildings, streets, alleys, curbs, sidewalks, and lot sizes. These are all standards that concern the actual development of the property. And in fact, the appellant can actually develop the property without ever having to pay for the impact fee. We do want to maintain that should the board find that the impact fee is a development regulation triggering vested property rights, we maintain that the applicant has provided no evidence that it received any approvals from the planning department or planning commission for the property at issue prior to the adoption and implementation of the education impact fee. The appellant's second argument is that the impact fee is required to be calculated on each subdivision, and the proceeds received from that particular subdivision is required to be used on educational capital projects for that specific development. What the private act does provide is that it's the intent of the act to grant the Williamson County Legislative Body the authority to establish a procedure or system to collect fees from a developer on any new residential development, so as to require that developer to share in the burdens of growth by paying his pro rata share for the cost of public improvements generated by new land development. The act does not require the county to define specific zones to accommodate each subdivision. In fact, the private act grants the county's legislative power broad power to implement an impact fee system. The county legislative body has done this. They have created 2 zones, and what they have done was create an impact fee that is relevant to the impact new residential development has on the need for educational impact fees. For these reasons, Mr. Chairman, we ask for these appeals be denied. I will ask whether there is anyone representing the appellant online. Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, please proceed.
Okay, a matter of order. My typed agenda did not list Old South, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, it was item D. It was on the second page. Okay. Did we skip over Celebration Homes in Woodridge?
We will hold those separately because they did
Okay.
not include an explanation.
Okay, all right. Having heard the presentation from the attorney for the board, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Kenneth Cho, and I make a motion, we deny these appeals.
This is Josh Hughes. I'll second that motion.
Valid motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote. Mr. Adams,
I vote for the motion to deny the appeals. Glenn Adams, I'm sorry.
Mr. Choate,
This is Kenneth Cho, and I vote for the motion to deny the appeals.
Mr. Hughes,
This is Josh Hughes. I vote for the motion to deny.
this is John Lee, and I vote for the motion to deny. The motion carries unanimously. Mr. Cook, the other
Chairman?
2 items on the agenda.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman.
if I might, I need to confirm something. My pen died in the middle of all this. Who provided the second?
Josh Hughes.
Mr.
So I
Hughes,
thought.
that's
Thank you
me.
very much. Sorry to interrupt.
The next appeal before you today is from Woodward Homes LLC. This appeal is being heard separately since it's the first appeal from this appellant. Woodridge Homes has submitted an appeal for Lot 74 at Burberry Glen subdivision, but offered no further explanation, basis, or reasoning for their appeal with the exception of checking the education impact fee amount. The county maintained fee schedule was developed based on the impact of new residential development for the need for new or expanded education facilities, and that the fee was adopted and assessed for the property amount in compliance with the authority granted to Williamson County Board of Commissioners by Chapter 120 of the 1987 Private Acts and Resolutions 1116-6, 1116-7. We ask for this reasons for this appeal to be denied. I will ask whether there's any representatives of the home builders online concerning this appeal. Hearing no response, Mr. Chairman, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and I make a motion that we deny these appeals.
This is Kenneth Cho, and I make a second the motion to deny the appeals.
Valid motion's been made and seconded. Call for a roll call vote. Mr. Adams,
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote for the motion to deny.
Mr. Choate,
This is Kenneth Cho, and I vote for the motion to deny.
Mr. Hughes,
This is Josh Hughes, and I vote for the motion to deny.
this is John Lee, and I vote for the motion to deny. The motion to deny carries unanimously. Next order on the agenda, Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last appeal we have for you today is from Celebration Homes and without objection will be heard as a whole. Celebration Homes submitted appeals for 3 lots but offered no further explanation, basis, or reasoning for their appeals with the exception of checking the education impact fee applicability and the impact fee amount. The county maintains that vested rights were not obtained by Celebration Homes and that the EIF is neither a developer regulation or development standard. Further, the county maintains the fee schedule was developed based on the impact of new residential development on need for new and expanded educational facilities, and the fee was adopted and assessed for the proper amount in compliance with the authority granted to Williamson County Board of Commissioners by Chapter 120 of the 1987 Private Acts and Resolutions 1116.6 and 1116.7. Because the proponent has further no further explanation, we request that these appeals be denied and that the staff's application and implementation of the EIF be upheld. I will ask whether there's any representatives for this home builder online concerning these appeals. Hearing no response, Mr. Chairman, I'll be glad to answer questions.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Crutcher has joined us via my cell phone. He had trouble getting in, so we have a full contingent now.
All right. Mr. Lee, will you continue as chairman since he was not present for the explanation?
Okay. Do I have a motion for this, for or against this appeal?
Mr. Vice Chairman, this is Josh Hughes, and I'd like to make a motion to deny the appeal.
This is Glenn Adams, and I second that motion.
Having heard the motion and it have a proper second, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Crutcher?
Yes, this is Ron Crutcher, and I vote for the motion.
Okay. Mr. Adams?
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote for the motion to deny the appeals.
Mr. Choate?
This is Kenneth Choate, and I vote for the motion to deny the appeal.
Mr. Hughes?
This is Josh Hughes, and I vote for the motion to deny.
This is John Lee, and I vote for the motion to deny. The motion carries unanimously. Any other business to come before this board today?
Mr. Chairman, this is Jeff Warren again. And I just wanted to announce that we are scheduled to meet 2 weeks hence, which would be December 17th.
Okay, no further business? I'm sorry?
Sorry, my staff's showing up.
Oh, well, that's good. Glad to have the staff on, but this meeting is over and we'll meet again in 2 weeks.
All right.